From a cramped kitchen in Lake Jackson, Texas, to the echoing rafters of the Houston Astrodome, this cinematic retelling unpacks the electrifying rise and heartbreaking fall of Selena Quintanilla Perez, the unstoppable queen of Tejano who reshaped Latin music forever. Journey through her triumphant childhood gigs at Papagayos, the DIY tours across dusty Texas highways in Big Bertha, and the record-shattering nights that crowned her a Grammy-winning crossover star. Meet the people who shaped her destiny: visionary father Abraham, soulmate guitarist Chris Perez, devoted fans, and the trusted lieutenant whose betrayal stunned the world. Packed with behind-the-scenes drama, fashion milestones, cultural breakthroughs, and a chilling true crime twist, this video dives deep into Selena's legacy, exploring how her voice still powers playlists, TikTok trends, and stadium anthems 3 decades later. Whether you're a lifelong fan or new to her story, let this immersive narrative reveal why Selena's name continues to light up marquees, and why her dream still invites the world to dance, no matter the language. Imagine, then, an April dawn in 1971, a sleepy subdivision in Lake Jackson, Texas, soaked in magnolia perfume and early morning humidity. Inside a modest 2-bedroom house on Oriole Street, Marcela Zamora is timing contractions, while her husband, Abraham Quintanilla Jr., fumbles with the radio dial, hunting for a station calm enough to drown out his nerves. They already have 2 children, introverted bass prodigy AB and quick-witted drummer in training Suzette, and both parents are so convinced child number 3 will be a boy that they've taped the name George to the avocado green refrigerator. Instead, a dark-eyed girl slides into the world with lungs bright enough to startle the delivery team into applause. Abraham, a former doo-wop crooner with the band Los Dinos, insists the newborn's very first wail hits dead center on a perfect pitch. Marcella rolls her eyes, but one of the nurses scribbles a curious note in the medical chart. Infant calms herself by humming. That hum becomes the overture of a life scored almost entirely in major keys. The Quintanilla household is small. Linoleum floors that cling to bare feet, knotty pine cabinets that never quite close, 1 bathroom for 5, and yet every night it vibrates like a clandestine recording studio. Abraham considers music a bloodline inheritance. Each child receives an instrument the way other families hand down class rings. For Suzette, there's a second-hand Ludwig drum kit with 1 cymbal perpetually cracked. For AB, a battered Fender Precision held together by duct tape and ambition. Baby Selena is too tiny for frets or sticks, so Marcella props her on the kitchen counter as dinner sizzles, and she mimics her father's old Sam Cooke records, syllables bubbling before she can spell them. By age 4, she's harmonizing with ceiling fans. By 5, she's converting broom handles, turkey basters, and flashlights into makeshift microphones and commanding living room concerts attended by family dogs and 1 unimpressed goldfish. In 1980, Abraham leased a strip mall unit and painted the name Papagayos above the door, part Tex-Mex restaurant, part live music incubator. The place smells perpetually of sizzling fajitas, Comet cleanser, and possibility. On Friday nights, the tables vanish, replaced by 2 milk crates and a wobbly mic stand. 9-year-old Selena scampers up in a satin vest her mother stitched from leftover drapery fabric, blinking beneath a jury-rigged disco ball made of foil and Christmas lights. She doesn't read Spanish yet, so Abraham writes lyrics on a poster board with neon arrows marking each rise and fall. Regulars slide extra quarters into the tip jar, unsure whether they're paying for enchiladas or the pint-sized starlet whose belts like the moon got stuck in her throat. Then the oil bus slams Texas like a closed fist. Laid-off refinery workers tighten belts, Traffic dwindles. Tables stay sticky and vacant. One July afternoon in 1981, a foreclosure notice eclipsed the front window. Abraham removes the neon sign in silence, sets it gently beside the dumpster, and wheels Big Bertha, a dented, decommissioned school bus, out of storage. He guards the seats to make room for amps, hot glues tinfoil over holes in the ceiling, and tells the kids to pack one suitcase each. College brochures migrate to a shoebox in the attic. Road maps blossom across the dashboard. Big Bertha points her rust-patched nose toward Corpus Christi, radio sputtering bilingual static, nights spent in church parking lots, mornings ironing stage costumes in Buck E's restrooms. Life on tour is equal parts carnival and calculus. Selena learns stage presence from barflies. Hold eye contact until they tip, even if the stale beer breath makes your eyes water. She learns budgeting from motel clerks, borrow towels, return them folded, they might forget to charge you. She learns Spanish phonetically, marking accents on set lists during sound check. Her 8th grade science fair project morphs into how many sequins can mom sew in 1 hour. Teachers threaten truancy charges. Abraham withdraws her altogether. Selena studies for a GED between county fair appearances, balancing a biology workbook on her lap while a makeup artist applies rhinestones. She passes the exam at 17 in a Chicago testing center, still wearing lash glue from the previous night's gig. By the mid-'80s, Selena y Los Dinos became fixtures on the Tejano circuit. Swap meets with rattling PA systems, quinceañeras, where the birthday girl sulks because the singer steals her thunder, dusty rodeo arenas where cotton candy melts faster than sound travels. Most club owners refuse to book a female lead in a male-dominated genre, so Abraham bluffs. She's not just my daughter, she's the main event, and undercuts rival bands on price. He hauls crates of their first vinyl LP, pressed in 1984 with Freddie Records, and hands copies to anyone with pockets. He scribbles "Hold for autograph" on the plastic sleeves, half joke, half prophecy. In 1987, Selena saunters into the Tejano Music Awards wearing a jumpsuit hand, glued with 2,000 rhinestones and braces gleaming like camera flash. The crowd, accustomed to bolo ties and sombreros, gasps like someone switched genres mid-program. When the announcer calls Female Vocalist of the Year, she grips the trophy tight enough to indent her palms. Backstage, she whispers into a payphone receiver, "Mom, I think everything just changed," voice trembling like a struck wine glass. Someone from EMI Latin transcribes her name phonetically in a pocket notebook. Not long after, contracts materialize stamped with gold logos and barbed wire legalese. Fame arrives like a summer storm. Sudden, noisy, irresistible. Media stylists attempt to flatten her curls. She sneaks hot rollers back into hotel rooms. Radio hosts focus on her age and wardrobe. She deflects by discussing chord progressions. Fan mail explodes past the family's Corpus Christi P.O. box capacity, forcing Marcella to convert the dining room into a sorter's paradise of bubble envelopes and Lisa Frank stickers. The Quintanilas move into a tidy brick house on Bloomington Street, but the grind intensifies. Rehearsals stretch until neighbors slap walls with broom handles. Meal breaks last 14 minutes, enough to inhale a breakfast taco and reapply lipstick. Selena, ever the diplomat, sneaks paletas to bandmates when Abraham isn't looking. Enter Chris Perez, a lanky guitarist from San Antonio with shoulder-length hair that screams metal band, even when he's finger-picking cumbias. He plugs into the practice amp, hits 3 notes, bends the third until it sounds like sunlight on chrome, and everybody in the room feels the humidity shift. Selena catches his eye over a busted snare drum, and for a second the whole tour bus of destiny tilts. They share headphones on overnight drives, swap mixtapes labeled with inside jokes, doodle cartoon cats on each other's lyric sheets. Abraham, sensing sparks, slams an iron curtain between them. Dating within the band invites tabloids, lawsuits, heartache. Selena nods, then promptly rewrites the policy in invisible ink. On April 2nd, 1992, they duck into Nueces County Courthouse through a side entrance. She wears black leggings, he wears a fraying bass string bracelet, and the ceremony lasts less time than it takes to detune a guitar. When they emerged, Corpus Christi radio had already leaked the story. Suzette phones, half laughing, half shrieking, dads flipping every table. Abraham's anger hits Category 3 on the family's emotional hurricane scale, but by sunset, he extends a calloused hand and says, "If you love my daughter, love her loudly." Marriage adds helium to Selena's step, gravitas to her voice. Ven Conmigo spins cumbia into pop sugar, and Baila Esta Cumbia builds a bilingual fan army. Entre a Mi Mundo detonated in 1992, ruling the Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 straight months. Reporters in Mexico City test her Spanish grammar. She disarms them with radiant mistakes and bigger smiles. Como La Flor turns border radio signals into shared heartbeat monitors. You can almost time traffic lights by its opening riff from Brownsville to El Paso. Concert attendance doubles, then triples, until a venue in Laredo literally removes back wall panels to accommodate overflow audiences listening from the parking lot. Yet even while juggling sound checks and stadium dates, Selena craves another canvas, fabric. She's been sketching bustier designs on napkins since discovering fashion magazines at laundromats. Marcella transforms the dining room into a makeshift atelier. Bolts of lame tangle with grocery list. In 1994, Selena Etc. launches with 2 boutiques, one in Corpus, one in San Antonio, offering custom jeans, bedazzled jackets, and on-site hair salons blasting techno cumbia on loop. Opening weekend customers queue in 103-degree heat, using hair dryers borrowed from the salon to fan their sweat. Enter Yolanda Saldivar, a petite former nurse who attends every show within a 300-mile radius and eventually finds the Selena fan club. Yolanda answers letters in perfect penmanship, sends birthday cards to junior members' pets, and refers to Selena as mi hijita. Flattered and swamped, the family hires her first as fan club president, then as boutique manager. Chris keeps side-eyeing. Abraham openly scowls. Selena, allergic to confrontation, hands Yolanda a set of office keys and focuses on her next mountain, crossover domination. Because by late 1994, EMI execs finally utter the magic word, English. Selena has fantasized about a mainstream album since childhood when she warbled Donna Summer hooks into a shampoo bottle mic. She devours Janet Jackson VHS tapes, parses Mariah Carey whistle notes like equations, and blindfolds herself in vocal booths to feel rhythm rather than overanalyze it. Q Zone Studios becomes her second address. She spends dawn to dusk layering R&B beats under cumbia accordions, scribbling lyrics about American skies and forbidden kisses, practicing consonant placement so the word love ricochets properly at arena volume. Meanwhile, crack spiders across the boutique empire. Payroll arrives late, invoices vanish, employees whisper about Yolanda's dressing room tantrums. Selena shrugs off the rumors. Miscommunication, surely, but Abraham demands an audit and uncovers forged checks totaling more than $30,000. Selena arranges a face-to-face sit-down. Yolanda weeps, claims victimhood, promises missing paperwork stored in a motel safe. Selena believes her, one more chance, for the sake of salvaging tax records and friendship. Cue the Astrodome, February 26, 1995. 66,000 fans swirl inside a retractable roof colossus, smelling of popcorn and cowhide. Selena floats onto a slowly rotating stage in a grape-colored, full-body sparkle jumpsuit so snug, she confides, "If I breathe wrong, a seam pops." She strikes a bullfighter pose, microphone aloft, and unleashes a 90-minute masterclass in crowd alchemy. Si una vez la carcacha, a sizzling disco medley that yanks Bee Gees into Tejano orbit. Section 326 roars so loud, the building's concrete ribs tremble. Digital ticket stubs from that night later become NFTs, selling for thousands. YouTubers call the performance energy goals and proof the 90s peaked. 4 weeks later, the calendar flips to March 31st. Morning sun crawls through blinds. Selena kisses Chris goodbye, "Don't burn the beans," and climbs into her red Porsche. She drives Yolanda to Doctors Regional after claims of a sexual assault in Mexico. Clinicians find no injuries. Selena's patience fractures like safety glass. Back at the Days Inn, room 158 reeks of tension and cheap detergent. Selena asks for tax files. Yolanda stalls. A .38 caliber revolver glints on the bedspread. Words escalate. A trigger jerks. The world recalibrates. The bullet tunnels through Selena's right shoulder, cleaves her subclavian artery, and the air tastes suddenly of pennies and panic. Selena bursts through the motel door barefoot, clutching a manila envelope, sprinting across asphalt that smolders against her soles. 48 strides carve a crimson trail nearly 400 feet long enough for paramedics to trace later like an anatomical map of heartbreak. She collapses in the lobby, gasps, "Yolanda, 158, then drops into a silence so absolute the vending machine seemed to sob. EMTs crack her chest en route to Corpus Christi Memorial Hospital. Surgeons massage her heart, but blood loss outpaces every miracle they know. At 1:05 p.m., the attending physician scribbles time of death, and the nurse who files the paperwork will never again drink Dr. Pepper because it reminds her of the dried soda stain on Selena's tracksuit sleeve. Outside, a thundercloud rolls over the Gulf like theater curtains closing. Strangers form prayer circles, ranchers holding bankers' hands, third graders clutching abuelitas' rosaries. Television anchors mispronounce quintanilla while tears cut through pancake makeup. Telemundo suspends its telenovela lineup. English-language stations air Tejano B-roll none of their producers previously bothered to catalog. Radio DJs spin Dreaming of You 5, 10, 15 times in a row. Switchboards jam with callers sobbing from San Diego to Sao Paulo. Meanwhile, Yolanda Saldivar locks herself in a red Chevy pickup, gun barrel pressed to her temple, parking lot becoming a surreal diorama broadcast on every local channel. SWAT negotiators plead for 9 hours. Selena's mother whispers prayers that ride shotgun on the wind. When Yolanda finally surrenders, cuffs clink like closing credits. Prosecutors later reveal a suitcase in her motel room crammed with forging supplies and unsigned life insurance forms. A jury deliberates 2 hours, fastest murder conviction in county history, sentencing her to life with parole possible in 2025. Fans launch the "No Parole for Yolanda" petition. Signatures top 1 million by fax alone. The funeral transforms Corpus Christi into a cathedral. 60,000 mourners snake through triple-digit humidity. Some collapse from heat, others from grief. In an open glass casket, Selena rests wearing a white beaded gown of her own design, hands folded over a single red rose. Chris fainted twice, first at the kneeler, then against the hearse's fender. Abraham grips the coffin edge until his knuckles blanch paper white. Helicopters hover so low the rotor wash lifts rose petals off the hearse roof. scattering them over the procession like confetti obliged to mourn. Fan rituals ignite worldwide. In Mexico City, commuters freeze when Como La Flor pours from subway PA speakers. Knees buckle, strangers embrace. In Manila, bootleg CDs outsell American grunge in street stalls. Houston record shops move every Selena item within hours. Posters, pins, even cassette singles once gathering dust in discount bins. Home office fax machines in California jam from memorial program requests.